Hi class, today we're going to learn how to use our drawing pencils for shading. You're going to get a new pack of pencils. This is what the top looks like. It comes in a tin container. You can carefully take it off and put the lid underneath so you don't lose it. In your pack of pencils you'll find a variety of different pencils with different names, and they're for different things for shading. You'll find at the bottom they have different labels on them. You will find 6B, 5B, 4B, 3B, 2B, B, HB, F, H, 2H, 3H, 4H. Now, right now, I place them in order. Okay. In general, the B's, B means for black. Okay. The very, very darkest black, darkest color, the softest lead, so it gets the darkest value, is going to be your 6B in this case. So your biggest number followed by B is your darkest. 5B would be slightly less dark, 4B would be a little bit less dark than that, and so on. The opposite, H, okay, H just means hard, okay, the lead is harder, so it doesn't get as much graphite off when you use it, okay. The hardest lead or the lightest value that you would end up getting with the pencil would be 4H, okay, and then it reverses, so 4H is the lightest, 3H would be a little less light, 2H would be a little less lighter than that, H is kind of your standard, and then there's HB, which is halfway between a B and an H, okay? Now, there's this funny one, it's called an F, okay? There's this F pencil. The reason it has an F on it is because it has the ability to get super sharp, so it stays really sharp in the pencil sharpener in case you need to do some really fine details, okay? You'll find that the B's you have to sharpen more often because the lead is really soft. The H's you might not need to sharpen quite as often. Okay, so let's see what this looks like when we use them. So this is my 6B. Okay, you can see I'm getting very, very dark. The lead is kind of shiny. Okay, I'm pressing down pretty well. These should be pretty good quality pencils that hold up. Let's try the 4H. Okay, I'm applying the same amount of pressure, but you see the difference? Okay, so this is going to help you with shading. So what you're going to practice today is getting to know your set of pencils and also practice shading. So you're going to get a worksheet that looks like this. And what you're going to do is first you're going to write your name on it, okay? And the first thing is you're going to try to copy this value chart. This is called a value chart, okay? Notice it goes light to dark. So you start off with white, okay? This is already white, so we can leave it white. Now, my second one is a little off-white, slightly darker, okay? So I'm thinking that since it's really light, I'm going to use a really, really light pencil to do this, okay? So I'm using my 4H, okay, and I'm barely going over. I'm making little circles right now, okay? It might be a little streaky, which is okay. I have this cool tool you guys can use, which will be in the box with the drawing supplies. This is what they look like. They're called blenders. So you can get a blender, and it's just like a rolled up piece of paper, and it actually just smudges it so it looks very nice and soft. We'll use these a lot on our face, so the shading looks really gradual, okay? And you want to squint and see, do these values look the same? I think they're pretty close, okay? Now the next one, we got a little bit darker, a little bit darker, a little bit darker, okay? And then this last one is it's going to be as dark as you can go. So I would use that 6B Press down really, really hard. Okay, get as much graphite on there as you can so it matches. Okay, you should be able to see individual steps of value. Okay, then once you've done that, you're ready for the next part. So this time you're going to do shading again, but it's going to be more gradual. So you start off with white and then gradually fade into black. Okay, you want it to look very smooth. You don't want to see any lines. That's your goal. That's going to be really good practice for you. So I'm going to get a really light pencil again. I'm going to get my F. And if you keep it organized here, it just makes it easier to find things. I like to keep my B's on one side and my H's on the other. So I've got white. Okay, I'm going to just gradually start building up some value. Building up some value. Okay, just going a little bit darker as I go. Okay, and I like to do circles. You could go back and forth. That's okay. Okay, gradually getting lighter or darker. I think I'm going to switch pencils now. Maybe I'll try a regular H. That's going to be a little bit less light than my 4H that I was just using. Just gradually building up color. I'm squinting to see if it matches up here. Okay. Maybe now I want to try this HB, which is kind of like halfway in between on my set, like I talked about. This is cut in the middle here. Okay. And you just keep going, okay? Until you get darker, 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 and then right here is going to be as dark as you can, probably with that 6B pencil. The last thing on this worksheet is you're going to try to copy this circle, the sphere, by shading it so it begins to create a three-dimensional shape. So it should look like there's a light hitting the sphere here, and then it casts a shadow around here, and then a shadow, a very, very, very dark shadow here. So you'll see that's white. This one's white, so you can leave it alone. This one is a little off-white, so it'll be the same as this one, right? Okay, you'll gradually get a step by step darker, darker, darker as you go. And this one will be as dark as you can go, okay? Remember, if you would like to try to use the blending tool, it just makes it look nice and soft. It can be overdone, so just be mindful of that, okay? If you're ever using one of these and you're shading a really light color and it's super dirty from just shading dark, you see how much is coming off? You can just get a scrap piece of paper and kind of just clean off your blender. Alright, so that's your goal for today. Finish that. Thank you.